Salute my peopleizations. What's shaking? What's shaking my peopleizations? Let's talk about it. What's good? What's good? We got in the building, man. My Hairy Nation, Sports and Podcast, my brother, what's good? Anwar Willis, what's good? Christopher Jurnett, Harold Jones, Don Banks, Quan 43, Eugene Williams, Dane Watson, Perfectionist, King Louis II, Chet Hook, Vince Beats, It's Just Boxing, Mark Wonderley, Leon Robinson, KP from KC, Tony Boswell, salute, Clifton Brunson, BBG, Kenneth Johnson, Kel C, Akeem the Great, Mike James Boxing, Damian Hennings, Big Snack Pack, Almighty Law, TJ Wilkins, Ricky Knight, salute, what's shaking? What's shaking? Gravy Davy, salute. Jules of Life, salute. What's good? G5 Gabe, King Wanta, salute. Soul Truth, salute. What's good? Got my rice cake snacks. You know what I'm saying? Little snacks, man. Wait for my brother, my co-host Kurt Anderson to jump on in. Salute. Box Conversation, my brother Reggie Owens, Taco K. What's good? Ty French 600. Eddie Sports Money. Salute. Yeah, we're going to cook today, man. We going to cook today. You dig? You figure deal me. You figure deal me. Huh? You figure deal me, huh? What's shaking? Ty King alive. What's shaking, King? Salute. I'm trying to get my brothers on today, man, because I want to build about this, man. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, okay. Okay. We're going to cook today, man. What the? Harold Jones, what's good? Salute, my brother. Salute to my people. Boo back at your word. Peace. Salute. Yeah. Taco K, what's shaking my peoples, man? I want to cook on this, man, today, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah, so truth, your wrench is not gone. It's another channel. And the wrenches, man, you got to leave a comment. Pardon me, y'all. You got to leave a comment. Pull Counter Boxing, salute. You got to leave a comment on the live stream. Raphael Gooden, Omega Cam, salute. And then I'll wrench you up through there, man. But to be honest, man, I have been, occupied to go back and check it so I can wrench y'all up. TBAB TMC, salute. Hustler Slim, salute. So you got to leave a comment on yesterday's live stream. Leave a comment on yesterday's live stream, and then I can wrench you up through that way. But you gotta do it that way, man. That's the only way you're gonna be able to do it. This is a whole nother channel, man. So I know people like, hey man, what happened to my wrench? Nah, your wrench is through the other channel. My brother, Bond South D-Town, what's shaking? Yeah, Super Davy 316, salute. Cali Buzz, salute. So your wrench comes through that, man. It didn't. This is a whole nother channel, man. All Wick, salute. So I know people is like, yo, where my wrench at and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But the wrench, it didn't transfer over. This is a whole nother channel. Salute to my brother Kurt Anderson, aka Kurt Sugar, aka the historian, aka my cause. What's shaking, Kurt?
Yo, what's good with you, Blue, man? What's going on, everybody? What's up, my brother?
Ain't nothing, man. Ain't nothing, man. Yesterday I had some things going on, so I didn't get to do no streams yesterday, man. But we back today. I'm trying to get a special guest on for this evening, man. Just waiting for them to get back to me. But I want to talk about this whole situation with the WBC, man. Was you able to link up with Scrapbook? Did he get everything correct?
No, I think he's going to have to go see a tech, man. We tried and to no avail, man. I told him go to your nearest store and just they could walk you through it, man. I think it's a tech issue, man. I really do. He just can't. We tried everything. He just can't get on.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, man. That's unfortunate, man. I really like having him on, but the way we do it through the phone is just so low. It's just difficult to do it, to continue to do it that way. But because he was having issues with the phone too on top of it. So when trying to do it that way, it just came out too low. But yeah, man, I don't know if you saw this whole situation with the WBC elevating Vasily Lomachenko to franchise champion, man. And now, man, there's an interview, Mauricio Suleiman, and the way he tried to explain it, man, no good, man. Salute to Myron Denard in the super chat. He said, how come Lomachenko and Canelo get the franchise title, but Wilder and Gary Russell and Spence don't get the franchise title? We know why. See, the difference between, in my opinion, the difference between Gary Russell, Wilder, and Spence is they're not avoiding fights. So there's no need to elevate them to franchise champion because they walk into the fire. They're not trying to walk away from it. They firemen, right? And my brother Kurt dropped off. Antonio Mendoza, salute. They firemen. You understand? So they going to put the fire out. If you're a fire starter, they come in and put the fire out. You understand? Unfortunately for Canelo and Vasily Lomachenko, and I say unfortunately because I'm referring to the fans, right? Not because of them, but I'm saying unfortunately because of the fans, right? Drink more water, salute. Leon Robinson, all week, salute. Unfortunately for the fans, Canelo Alvarez and Vasily Lomachenko are they rather walk away from the fire. Gary Russell, Wilder, and Errol Spence, they fire fighters, so they come in to put the fire out. You understand? So it's no reason for them to be elevated to franchise because that franchise title, keep losing Kurt. John Freeman, salute. That franchise title is something made up, right, to allow and give wiggle room to guys like Lomachenko and Canelo when they have mandatory. See, you understand what happens is these sanction bodies, they make up rules. And so they made up these rules. It looked good. It looked good. And Kurt, that's you? Okay. It's all good. Well, I'll connect you to the thing. If you try again, if it don't work, then we'll connect you the other way. All right. Mr. Male Advice DIY, salute. Winston Lee, salute. So what happens is it's no need for them to have that rule. So what happens is these sanction bodies, they made up these rules, not realizing that, it's going to hurt them you know, when it comes to their money makers, quote unquote, right? So when you're talking about, you know, Vasily Lomachenko, and I don't even understand, because Vasily Lomachenko is not a moneymaker. He's not a big draw. He's just not. You know, so Canelo Alvarez is a draw. He brings in money. He brings in revenue. But when it comes to Vasily Lomachenko, see, what happened is they should have never did this with Vasily Lomachenko, because he's not a draw, right? It made it understandable when they said Canelo Alvarez. They didn't want to lose Canelo Alvarez, and Arturo Shadi, salute. They didn't want to lose Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo Alvarez was going to vacate the belt. You understand? So, you know, Canelo Alvarez was going to vacate the belt, and in order for them not to lose Canelo Alvarez, they came up with this they came up with this quote unquote solution, you know, for, you know, guys to for Canelo Alvarez to be franchised, you know. So they took a chapter right out of the book they took a chapter right out of the book of the NFL and said, in order for you not to leave us, because see, this rule came from the NFL. So this further lets you know that this was a rule put in place because these guys was going to vacate the belt in order not to fight the guys that was in front of them. That was their mandatory. You understand? They took this right from the NFL. And what happened in the NFL, you get a player on your team, you don't want to lose him because of the rules that said, because of the contract, his contract come up, the rules, right? And so they can slap the franchise tag on him so he can't go nowhere. So he can still represent their brand. And this is what happened with the WBC. It just shows you that these guys like Canelo Alvarez and Vasily Lomachenko had all plans of leaving. They were leaving. And so the WBC said, the Canelo Alvarez said, listen, I got to get out of here. I'm not going to do it. If you could try to push me in the direction to do this, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to vacate the belt. I'm not representing your belt. It's just like a team in the NFL. I'm going to leave your team and sign with somebody else if you try to force me to do this. That's what happens. That's what happens. And so this just goes to show that this just proves that Devin Haney and Canelo Alvarez were both going to avoid, Devin Haney, Vasily Lomachenko and Canelo Alvarez were both going to avoid Jamal Charlo and Devin Haney. That's what that just proves. It proved it. It proved it. It proved that that was going to be the case. It just goes to show. It just goes to show what these guys had in mind. Period. Point blank and period.
Yes, sir, bro.
Hold on, let me try to connect you. Got it?
Hello?
Yep, got you.
Okay.
So you know, this just goes to show so what I said, Kurt, was about this, right? Let me catch you up to speed. What I said about this franchise tag was that the WBC took this chapter right out the NFL book, right? So they took this out the NFL book, and what they were going to do, and we're going to have Callie on too, Kurt. They took this chapter out the NFL book, but it just proves and it shows that what happened is these guys, Canelo and Vasily Lomachenko, had no interest in fighting their mandatories. So it just proves that they were going to vacate. And so the WBC came up with this method of we're getting phone calls already, but they came up with this method to say, listen, I want you to still represent our brand. And so in order for you to still represent our brand, we're going to franchise tag you. Because these fighters are saying, you know something? I'm going to leave. The fighters are saying, I was going to leave. And so now the WBC came up with a method to say, we gonna franchise you. So what you think about that, Kurt?
You know, this doesn't surprise me. Back in the day, they called the color bar, where certain fighters were giving preferential treatment to avoid other fighters. It happened with Jack Dempsey. There was no pressure. It happened with Tony Zale. So this what they doing. They don't want they showing favoritism because they don't want their fighters. They're not forcing their fighters to fight certain fighters, and they don't want that particular fighter. So they say, hey, take a pop. We're gonna give you belt. And this is like, and like I said, you can get boxing because boxing doesn't have a federal commission.
Exactly, man. Callie, what's your thoughts on it, man? You there, Callie? You on mute? I think Callie don't realize he's still on mute. We'll take the caller when they call in. Callie fell out. Go ahead and call in, my people. We're going to get to them. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Matt Valentine, Brick City, Jersey. What's going on, Blue Blood?
Matt Valentine, what's good with you?
Ain't nothing, man. I can't call it, man, but putting it out there the way it's supposed to be, man. What's going on, man? The boxing world's berserk out there, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Man. I mean, we can't win for losing, man. One account after another, man. Like, what kind of book are they trying to rate, man? What kind of book are they trying to write, man?
Mm-hmm.
Like, take what? We got to be the antagonistic, and we got to rewrite it, man. This ain't right, bro. Just as soon as we think things are going well and things appear to be organized and that the fight fans are being respected, we about to get some common game in the sport of boxing. Here they come with a monkey wrench, bro. A straight wrench in the game, man. I just can't call it. I just can't call it. So, like, ain't nothing else to be said other than what you put out there, man. I agree 100%, okay, on your analysis across the board as to why these AKA fake franchise boxing belts exist with WBC. I'm not sure if you caught a fellow channels from the Brick Cities interview with Mauricio early.
Yeah.
But the president of the WBC had nothing to say, bro.
Yep, I heard. Yep, that's a big reason. I heard that interview, and that's a big part of the reason why I did this show the way I'm doing it.
Can't call it, man. Like, I can't call it. What's reverberating in the background is that big bro, a.k.a. Deontay Bomb Squad Wilder, is in position to receive that ring. What you think? What's your thoughts on that?
I don't think he's going to ever be franchised. I don't think he'll ever accept it. And the reason why I say that is because he's a firefighter, so he's going to the fire. This franchise tag is to avoid guys from going to the fire.
Exactly.
That's what this is. You know what I mean? So you got, and it just proves that they don't want to. Plus, you got to think Deontay Wilder can't move up. Right. So there's no wiggle room for him. So it's really no point in him accepting it, because what does it do? He got to fight the guys in and around his way anyway. Right. In his division. But when you're talking about Canelo Alvarez, it just proves that Canelo Alvarez and Vasily Lomachenko went to the WBC and said, I'm not fighting this guy. That's what it did. It just showed us that this is what they did. They went there and said, I'm not fighting this guy. You made him the mandatory. And the WBC wanted to make everybody happy. And so what they did was they said, okay, we'll elevate you and allow you to, be a franchise champion. And the guy, now we'll satisfy the guy who's your mandatory and just hand him the belt. And Mauricio Suleiman he said so, and it's unfortunate because I love the WBC and I love Mauricio Sulaiman. I like him, but it's just unfortunate because he says, oh, Ness asks him, he says, hey, so how could Vasily ever be undisputed? And he says, well, he still could be undisputed because he's still a champion. No, so Ness said, well, no, he's not. How could that be? And then you see guys, oh, you know what? We're gonna get nowhere. You know, it's just unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate.
See what with him doing, and I just heard with that, he just said that Devin Haney really don't mean shit then. He just said so basically if by saying that Vasily Lomachenko can still be undisputed, then it's bullshit then, man. It's absolute bullshit, and it means that Devin Haney's title ain't shit. So either Devin Haney's title ain't shit or Lomachenko's title ain't shit. Which one is it?
Guys, we gotta peel back on the language. YouTube is on my back.
Oh, my bad. That's what I meant to say. You know what I meant to say? I'm not saying it's either it don't mean anything. That's basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm Devin Haney should really consider throwing that belt in the trash, man. If he gonna stay it that way, if Lomachenko can still be undisputed, then that belt he has is useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Cali, man. Ever since you stopped the early show, man, I haven't been able to catch you. My schedule's changed, but shout out to you, big bro. I get you on all your reruns. But I just can't understand it as well, man. Like, it's crazy how, these things have happened right now. Like, as a champion, I wouldn't even feel comfortable with taking a franchise belt like that, man. I mean, how can you call yourself a true champion, bro?
You're not.
I thank you, Blue Bud. And again, I'm not sure if Kurt's on tonight, but
Kurt, that's Kurt that just said that. Kurt talking to you right now. Go ahead, Kurt.
Yo, what's up, my Brick City brethren? What's going on with you, Matthew Valentine?
Hey, man, I tell you, I can't call it, man. I still ain't get your email, big bro. I still ain't get your email.
Hey, somebody put my email in there because I can't go. I can go to the chat. I'll put it in 3 minutes after I'm finished.
I'll make sure I get it. But yeah, man, keep grounded, man. I mean, I guess this was keeps the boxing story forever interesting, man. In the years to come, you'll be able to reflect on this history as well. But also, I don't know if Cali heard me, but shout out to Cali too, bro. I miss you early morning, man. I used to catch you on the road to work every morning, but I haven't heard you in a while. But keep grinding, family, and Blue Blood, keep grinding. You already know what it is.
I appreciate you, Champ.
All right, keep grinding, family. I'll talk to you guys later. Be good.
All right, you too, man.
Right.
Hey, man, it's just unfortunate that Mauricio Sulaiman said that, man, because I'm like, man, what are we talking about here? How could he still be undisputed? How could he still be a belt holder? And then he got mad at Ness because Ness was like, this is not a good look. And he's like, oh well, you always got an opinion on stuff, so he wasn't happy with Ness, man. What you think about that? What you think about that, Kurt?
Well, when the sanctioning bodies first came out.
Hey, Kurt, you gotta talk a little louder into your phone.
Okay, can you hear me now? When the sanctioning bodies first came out, they was handing people certain fighters their belts without even having one fight, because the trick was to get the most popular fighters that bring in the most money, just hand them the belt. They was their inaugural champions. Like, I've seen Tommy Hearns lose to James the Heat Kitchen, and they gave Hearns a fight, and he was the WBO. He was their first world champion. So if you had a sanctioning body, Blue, and you had a legendary fighter, and he was fighting for the championship, you wanted him to win, no matter what it was. If he lost, he still won. So the judges was in on it, and that was Tommy Hearns was the first WBO champion because he had a name.
Mm-hmm.
So his name carried weight. So it's really no different with the franchise belt, because it's only for certain fighters, to be honest with you. And like you said, Deontay Wilder having no wiggle room. He's a heavyweight. He never gets the franchise anyway because he's going to fight everybody. He would never go to the WBC because he's taking out all comers. But Canelo and Lomachenko, you know, two non-American fighters, you know, and that's not coincidence, but that's by design. You know, they don't want to fight a guy they feel uncomfortable with. So they say, well, I believe. So the WBC said, nah, we're going to give you something else. We're going to give you a big screen TV, and we're going to give you the franchise belt. It's bogus, man.
Mm-hmm.
But in boxing, you can get away with anything.
And then he said, Ness asked him, he said, this dude just won the belt when he ain't even defended yet. And his response was, but look what he did in the amateurs. Look at all his accomplishment in the amateurs. What you think about that, Callie?
His amateur pedigree has nothing to do with what he's done in the pro. It just makes absolutely no sense. All it is a guy who's trying to make. You can't make everybody happy, man. It just don't work. He's trying to make. You can't. Everyone's just going to get frustrated. In reality, the only side who benefits from this are the ducking side. The other side doesn't benefit from it. The black fighters don't benefit from this. That's just the reality of this. So it doesn't make any sense. So I'm not trying to hear it, man, because like I said before, only the side that benefits from it are Canelo, Lomachenko. Those guys are the only guys that benefit from this ducking behavior. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not forced to fight. They got what they wanted. The whole ideal for them was to get out of the fight, and they got out of the fight, and then they get to keep, and they get to get some, king status. That's the way I see it. It's like they're trying to give them like some type of king status from ducking. For ducking, they get rewarded for ducking. That's how I view this is. Now, if he still gets to be called undisputed, then he's just basically been rewarded for ducking. Right. You rewarded him for ducking. Nah, man, I'm not having it. So to me, at this point, if Lomachenko is going to be considered undisputed, then guess what? Then Devin Haney should vacate that belt, throw it in the garbage, and go to IBF route, because the IBF doesn't care. If you don't want to be part of their sanctioning body anymore, they don't care. Guess what happens? You're just out. And so that's what the brothers got to understand. The WC, the WA, the WO are not in your best interest. The IBF is a sanctioning body that you can sue. It's located in New Jersey. So the IBF has been strict in sticking to the program. You got to give IBF credit. They've been the best sanctioning body out of a bad bunch, by far. And I think it's time for the brothers to understand that Earl Spence went to the right sanctioning body, the IBF. Go to the IBF. If you want to go to a sanctioning body right now, the IBF, and that's the only one you should go to.
What do you think about that, Kurt?
Yeah, that's true. Ironically, the IBF headquarters is like 10, 15 minutes away from my house. The IBF, well, they, like Callie said, they don't care, man. They ain't gonna franchise nothing. You either, fight the guy that's your mandatory, or you're gonna be strict. So I like about the IBF, man. And like you said, the WBC and the WBO and the WBA, they're not for black fighters, man. They make it hard for black fighters. They want us to do all the heavy lifting. They wouldn't franchise Earl Spence. How come they never franchised Gary Russell Jr.? They never franchised him. So they're trying to show you that black fighters, this ain't for you. It's nothing different from the black murderers role from that day and Jack Dempsey being champion. They just make it like really hard for us, man. We still produce great fighters and have the best fighters that boxing ever seen, but they're not making it any easier.
It's messed up, man. I was in such disbelief when he said, look what he did in the amateurs. I'm like, huh? And then he said, he followed that up by saying, well, he's a three-time three-division world champion on top of that. But he had 15 fights.
But Blue, let me tell you something. The amateurs, when you turn professional, is so overrated. That's a different ball game. That's just like you have a great college football player and he never does nothing in the pros, like Archie Griffin or somebody. And just like an amateur fighter, when you see these fighters with these big glossy records, 396-1, that's because they're men fighting kids. There's a 25-year-old fighting a 17-year-old. Of course, you're going to have an advantage. Unless he's a special fighter like the '76 or the 1984 Olympic team, which it didn't matter to them. And we would have had a great 1980 Olympic team. Those guys were special, but you fighting kids in the amateur, so you building up your record. So when you come out amateur, he's a great amateur, stand out. But these are the professional ranks, and you seen what happened when Lomachenko turned pro. He lost early in his career. So that's what I got to say about that.
Oh, and let me say that I had to deal with a Lomachenko fan today, and he said, "Don't you think Lomachenko's earned the right to fight anybody he wants at this point of his career? He has 15 fights, 15 fights, and he's earned the right to fight who he wants to fight. Come on, man, cut the nonsense, man, cut the nonsense. You guys would never do that for a brother, man. This already had opportunities that any other brother would never get. Let's just keep it 100 here. Getting a world title fight after his second fight. Brothers ask for that all the time. Never get any chance to get anywhere. They got to get at least 20 fights in or 18 fights in before they get a shot. This is nonsense, man.
Don't forget, he got a title shot coming off a loss in his third fight.
Facts.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
So what's going on, fellas?
We'll go.
Ain't no much. Just Ricky Chino calling from Brooklyn.
Ricky Chino, what's shaking with you, bro? Brooklyn in the building. 718. What's good with you, bro?
Ain't no much. Yo, speaking on this topic, I had this fucking idea. I was thinking, what else like Showtime and ESPN and all the broadcasters made their own belt and just cut out them while paying them all at the same time, man. Just cut out the promoters and all that.
Wait, say it again. Break it down again.
All right. So you got ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
You got you got the Zone,
mm-hmm.
and like who else?
Mm-hmm.
They create their own belt for each division.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Cut out all promoters. Pretty much cut out all sanctioning bodies altogether, and just have their own belt while paying the fighters. Their due diligence based on stats, whatever. So. And cash cow, whoever brings in the most ratings, of course, get paid the most bread. Is that a right idea or right way of thinking into kind of all the bullshit?
Hey, Kirk, what do you think about that?
Well, in the perfect world, but that ain't going to happen because right now it's the perfect formula for the sanctioning bodies and the promoters. They work hand in hand, and don't In the past, the promoters used to give the sanctioning bodies payola, meaning they would give the sanctioning bodies a bag of money so you could rank their fighter high in the rankings and make them mandatory challenges for their belt. And that still goes on, but it's not as obvious. And you got to remember something. Don King, who was the promoter, had the WBC in his back pocket. He had the Suleimans in his back pocket. They worked hand in hand. That's why Pernell Whitaker didn't get the decision over Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. because Chavez was a Mexican icon. Suleiman is Mexican. Don King was a promoter. So Don King fixed that fight to be a draw. Suleiman was happy, and Pernell Whitaker didn't get his rematch, which was supposed to be in Las Vegas, because Don King knew Pernell Whitaker can beat him. So this is how the promoter and sanctioning bodies work hand in hand. They both making money, and there's nobody to govern them, to look over them, so they can do what they want. It's a perfect formula, So, it's a perfect formula for the promoter and sanctioning bodies can get certain fighters that they want to represent them and bring in the most money. So they don't want nobody messing with that. So it's going to stay the same.
What you think, Callie?
Repeat that again.
He said that he thinks that the networks should do away with the promoters and the sanction bodies and just start their own. So they have their own belt. So you'll have the Zone belt, the HBO belt, the Showtime belt, ESPN belt, and do away with, the current system. What you think about that?
Well, remember, PBC tried to do that before. So, I mean, I'm be honest with you, I'm all for it, man. I think it would be good for the. Hold on. No, I said I think it'll be good for the sport. To be honest with you, do it like UFC. I know PBC. I think PBC should just go ahead and do it, man. To be honest with you, why keep playing? Why keep playing games? You've seen what's happened. You saw what happened to your fighter Maul Charlo. So why not do it? I think PBC should go ahead and create the PBC belt. I think it'd be good for boxing. I'm for it. I thought it was a good concept when it first came out. But everyone's still tied to the WBC, the WBA, and the IBF, and of course now the WBO. So, and they're still trying to eye at the IBO. Man, just make your own belt, man, and let's get beyond this nonsense. And then we can decide as fans. To me, I think us fans, we have a lot more pull than what people know. We have more pull than what you know. You as fans make the sport. You are the revenue. Everybody talks about the boxer. No, the fans, you are the revenue. You have power. I think fans act like they have no power. That's nonsense, dude. If you don't watch, they don't make money. So they need you. It's time for fans to flex their power, and you tell them what you want. And if we don't watch, if a whole bunch of us left and start watching, that's a huge chunk of money that they don't make. So we do have they do care. You may not think that they care, but the powers that be, but some of them know that they can control you and fool you and throw you a bone because you guys just accept anything. But if you start making actual demands and start forcing things like, all right, man, if you don't do what we want you to do, we talk about a certain fighters. Well, we won't watch your fight. We have to start doing things like this on YouTube as content creators too. If we got a fighter that's ducking, we tune that dude out. We tune him out. He doesn't get any kind of coverage. No videos made. And then any comment brought up in the chat room gets removed. We don't necessarily block it, but tie them up. We just let them know we're not talking about those people. We got to start. It's got to be a toll. We haven't set a toll for anybody. We haven't made anybody pay a price for doing this, for conducting themselves in this manner. There's been times where we really weren't discussing Canelo Alvarez, and what they do is they cloud chase to get us to talk about. What we got to do is stop taking the bait and not talk. Okay, they'll say like, oh, we want to fight Earl Spence Jr. They said that so we start talking about him to generate interest in the fight. They use Alexander Usyk for Deontay Wilder, so we talk about that so they generate interest in the fight. If we do not talk about them, they are irrelevant. We have more power than what people know. All we got to do is if everybody stay on code and start blocking these people out, I'm telling you, we can get these guys to bend to our will. We can. Yeah. They will be forced to come to us. But I don't know how disciplined everybody's willing to be disciplined like that.
Yeah, and I agree with you, man. It's too much of not identifying the power that we possess. As the fans, because, things like this, another thing Mauricio Suleiman said was that he said, Ness asked him, he said, well, it's essentially just a title. He doesn't have a belt. And he says, well, he's still representing our brand. So that would make him undisputed. No, that don't make you undisputed. And Ness said, you don't have a belt. He said, well, we ain't getting nowhere. He cut Ness off. He said, we're not going to get nowhere. Pretty much let's end this conversation. And I'm like, he don't have a belt. So Ness said when he goes to the table with the other sanctioning bodies, he doesn't have a belt from you guys. He doesn't possess the WBC belt. So how could you bargain with these guys for undisputed? And Mauricio said, well, no, he does have a belt. He has the WBC. So Ness said, well, no, Devin Haney has the WBC. Well, he still represents our brand. Man, and so Ness said, and I'm glad, and shout out to Ness in the boxing voice for this, man. And Ness said, well, you know what? That's not boxing. That's not how the sport of boxing operates. That's not in the landscape of the sport of boxing. And then he says, well, Ness, you always got an opinion, and I got videos you always having too much of an opinion. Stop having an opinion and just be a fan. If you're going to ask a question, just let me answer it. Don't have your opinion. That's what he told Ness. And this is the thing. Go ahead, Kurt. You had something to say, Kurt? Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kurt. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Oh, okay. You know, so you know, I mean, it's just not, you know, it just hurts the sport, man. It hurts the sport. Yeah, these types of politics hurt the sport of boxing, man. It just does. Shouts out to my brother, Legendary Top Cats in the building. Salute. Go subscribe to my brother, Legendary Top Cats. Go subscribe to my brother, the Cali Enigma Sports and Entertainment. Yeah, it just hurts the sport, man. It just does, man. You know, we can't have this in the sport, right? This dude, so all this talk, he consistently calls out Gervonta Tank Davis. Consistently, on a consistent basis. And now, as soon as Devin Haney is available, and you do your company does business with Eddie Hearn all the time, and this dude is available, and now he wants to fight you. Now you got somebody calling you out outside of a guy Rigondeaux who is 2 weight classes below you. Now you got a guy in your weight class that can match you skill for skill and wants to fight you. Now you don't want to take it. You don't want to take the opportunity. And in the same token, another thing he said that I just totally disagree with, man. This dude has been saying he wanted to be undisputed forever and a day. That's the reason why he didn't want to fight Devin Haney, right? The reason he didn't want to fight Devin Haney because he's waiting for the Teofimo Lopez-Richard Commey fight, right? He was waiting for that for the winner of that fight. And Mauricio Suleiman says he'll still be undisputed and fight when he fight the winner of that fight and be victorious. No!
That's insane, bro.
What you think about that, Kurt?
Well, we can sit here and try to figure out the politics of boxing, but like I said, the key of fixing all of this is a federal commission. There's nobody to govern these promoters and these sanctioning bodies so they can do what they want. Imagine, even though, you know, police killers, imagine there was no police, imagine there was no authority figures in the United States. It'd be like a purge every day. It'd be just like the movie. So, you know, you got people running wild, and that's just boxing. They showing you they can do what they want to do, you know, in front of our faces. Who's going to stop them? You know, nobody. Who's going to govern them? Nobody. So we can sit here for the next till 8 o'clock and talk about the politics of boxing, which I hate, but I'm used to it. You know, and just figure, I was like gung ho about, you know, the fight that's coming up on the heavy boxing schedule, but this has a lot to do with politics, and this has a lot to do with racism, because you can throw that in there too. You know, like I said earlier, Lomachenko, Canelo getting franchise belts, they're not American fighters, you know, and that's by design. That's not coincidental, you know, but that's what we need, man. Until then, it's going to keep happening. You're going to see other fighters get franchise belts. You know, I just wonder why Canelo sidestepped Charlo, and why Charlo wasn't that animate about it. At first he was.
Still there, Kurt? Hey, Matt, we're going to have to get to the next call, all right, bro?
All right, bro. Yep.
I appreciate you.
All right, peace.
Kurt, you still there? Kurt, you there? Hold on 1 second, brother. Yep, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
Yeah. You know, like I said, we could talk till we blue in the face, but you know, we need a federal commissioner, or they're gonna do what they want when they want. Then that's how it works in boxing. Boxing always been corrupt, man. From gangsters to fixed fights to judges in the back pockets to crooked promoters to now getting medals from losing the fight and franchise belts and all that. You know, and didn't Canelo get some kind of Mexican belt? What you call that belt?
Yeah, the Mayan belt. The Mayan belt.
Yeah, the Mayan belt, right. You know, this is foreign to me. I've been watching boxing a long time. I ain't never heard nothing like this. This is crazy.
Hey, Cali, what you think about that, man? What you think about him saying that even he gonna face the winner of Richard Commey and Teofimo Lopez, and he win that fight, he's still gonna be the franchise champion? Hold on, let's get to this caller, Cali. I'm gonna put him on hold and finish up on that. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on? My name's Cisco from the Twin Cities.
Salute to Cisco. Hold on one second. Just put yourself on mute. Let me let Callie finish cooking on this last segment. Then we bring you right back in, all right? Go ahead, Callie.
What I think about it is that, he just said that the belts don't mean anything. That's what he said. He said, look, man, the belts only mean something if it's someone who we perceive to be as the most important. We perceive Lomachenko and Canelo Alvarez to be more important than other people. So with that being said, they get to do what they want to do. We don't hold that standard for everybody. It's only for certain people. That's how I perceive it. So with that being said, he just rendered the WBC useless. So who cares about the WBC at this point? This is twice now. He already disgraced it with the first one. Then he came back and did it again. And this was blatant for the simple fact that he's never even defended the title. One fight as the WBC champion. It was for a vacant title. For a vacant title that he shouldn't have even got because he was already another champion, according to them.
Yeah, and
but they allowed him to skip the line.
And Callie, that's what Ness said to him, Callie. Ness said he fought for a vacant WBC belt and he didn't never defend it. And you already franchising him. And he said, well, did you see what he did, all his accomplishments in the amateurs? And he's a 3-division champion? Huh? What are we doing?
What does that got to do with the pros, though? What does that got to do with the pros?
Right.
That's what I want to know. What does that got to do? He has his pro accomplishments are minimum. And he really hasn't fought the best of competition. It's not trying to act like only reason people started saying Jorge Linares was good because he had a tough fight and he almost beat Lomachenko. Mm-hmm. That's why. But before then, no one thought Jorge Linares was that great. We thought he was a mediocre fighter. That's what he thought. He was a mediocre fighter with a mediocre belt, struggled with Luke Campbell. And the only reason people were saying Luke Campbell was good because he had he won a gold medal. But I'm not trying to be funny. I never thought too much of Luke Campbell, and don't think much of Jorge Linares. And he struggled with both of these dudes. And none of us would give either one of those dudes a shot against Tank or against Devin Haney. Neither one of us. None of us would. None of us would.
Nope. Let's get to this caller, Callie. Go ahead. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? My name's Cisco. I'm from Twin Cities.
Salute.
Hey, so, what I don't understand is there's 2 weight classes really that I see that, seem to be doing, or they have the right formula because they're fighting each other. It's exciting. The heavyweights, Deontay, Tyson, Joshua, Ruiz, and now Usyk coming in, what do you guys feel about Usyk already being a mandatory, like in comparison to Ruiz, Joshua, and all these guys fighting each other, and all of a sudden he's fought a nobody and he is already a mandatory? Like, how does that even work? And I'm also, Spence, Porter, Thurman, Crawford, all of them want to fight each other. The other weight classes just seem to be, with this Lomachenko getting a belt for nothing. I haven't even seen him fight, really, Campbell, he fought him. It shouldn't have been a problem, like they said. It just makes no sense. It feels like those divisions, they're not fighting each other. They're just, going back and forth with these other divisions. They're fighting each other. And that's why I like to watch boxing. I came back to boxing because of the heavyweights. I was watching UFC because they seem to do, they got one belt. You work your way up to fight the champ. The best fighters fight each other.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, well, with the Usyk, echo.
You hearing the echo?
Yeah.
How's
not
that?
Now.
Okay.
Well, with Usyk being mandatory for WBC, I heard, that's expected because you got fighters who come from lower weight divisions and they elevate them to mandatory, like they did Terence Crawford. His first fight was against Jeff Horn for the WBO title. So I get that. That's been the history of boxing. But see, there's a different agenda they have for certain fighters. They're trying to get these fighters to monopolize boxing, the Eastern European fighters. That's why they put them on a pedestal. You know, that's why they compare him to greats. You know, they saying Usyk is this and that. No, he's not. You know, look at the Chad Witherspoon fight, man. You know, it was an okay performance, if not poor performance to me. You know, providing who he was fighting. It's not like he was in a ring with Deontay Wilder. You know, and I wanted to see him fight Deontay Wilder so he can get his head knocked off. You know, they didn't want to see Better B fight Vasly because all the champions was Eastern European, and they don't want each other. They don't want the fighters to knock each other off like, you know, black fighters do. So they didn't want to see them fight, but because of pressure and they had nowhere to go, they had to fight. The champions got to start fighting one another, but they didn't want to see that. You know, so that's why, you know, there's a lot of propaganda surrounding Usyk, and Golovkin is on his way out. We know he's a fraud, and Lomachenko. And I'm going to tell you something. If Lomachenko gets a big victory over Devin Haney and Tank Davis, they're going to say he's better than Sugar Ray Robinson. So that's next. Look out for that. Look, they really trying to elevate this kid to the greatest ever. I'm telling you, when he's finished, that's what they're going to put on y'all. You know, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but, you know, what I said earlier about Usyk becoming number one because he was a dominant cruiserweight champion. He had all the belts, and him moving up one weight division, usually the sanctioning body would put him automatically number one mandatory. I don't got a problem with that because that means that he has to fight somebody that's really good. So let's throw him out there. Let's see what happens with Alexander Usyk. He's a decent fighter, but he's not what they say he is.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Roosevelt Hill, man, I see you in the comment section saying like more. Hey, I don't know if you're referring to us, but the phone line is open, bro. I don't know if you're referring to us. You said, meanwhile, Tank is fighting Gamboa for a belt. Ain't nobody co-signed Tank fighting Gamboa for a belt. Nobody here on this platform or any platform that I heard of co-signed Gervonta Tank Davis fighting Gamboa. Last time I checked, we was all in disagreeing with him fighting Gamboa. We all was in disagreeing with all of Gervonta Tank Davis. We've been saying that Gervonta Tank Davis was in a witness protection program. So where are you coming from with this? See, this is what I'm saying, man. Y'all dudes be using words out of place, right? We said to say, I ain't see you come on none of these platforms defending Gervonta Tank Davis when we were saying that. And you could go and look at the history of all of us saying it. But I ain't see you on none of these platforms, right? Mike Hennigan, salute. I ain't see none of you. I ain't see Roosevelt Hill on none of these platforms defending Gervonta Tank Davis. None. So how now we talking about what these dudes are doing. Now you coming here to defend them, and you talking about somebody's hating on them. Nah, man. What you mean? Because we focus on Loma. Lomachenko was just elevated a franchise champion yesterday, brother. So we talking about what's current. What you mean we focusing on Loma? Last time I checked, Gervonta Tank Davis wasn't just elevated to franchise champion. And the phone line is open, bro. Just call in. Call in. Because we ain't nobody here defended Tank Davis and his choice of opponents. We've been getting on Floyd Mayweather forever and a day. And I ain't see you in none of those comment sections defending Gervonta Tank Davis. None.
Blue.
How we hating on Lomachenko, brother? Explain that. When we did the same thing with Tank Davis, did you consider it us hating on Gervonta Tank Davis? Go ahead, Kurt. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. He only used Tank because he's a black fighter, you know, because he's mad that we're coming at Lomachenko. See, there's always a racial element, you know. That's why I always bring it up. That's why, you know. And I got Lomachenko number 2 pound for pound. I'm a Lomachenko fan. You know, I love watching Lomachenko fight. I love the aggression. But he's not what they say he is. But see, they get mad at us because we're bringing heat to Lomachenko. See, that's the difference. If we won't say nothing, then everything will be cool. You know, everything will be all right. You know, let them spit a few propaganda on Lomachenko, put up his record, and when you look, it's 14-0. They trying so hard to erase the Orlando Toledo fight. And I'm a fan. And I'm a fan of Tank, but I don't like the way Tank moving. You know, I've been yelling, tell Mayweather to take the training wheels off Tank Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Take the training wheels off and let him ride the bike without training wheels. If he loses, he loses. That's the sport of boxing. You know, I'm mad that Lomachenko aggressively called Tank out and he didn't accept the challenge. He put up something saying, I'm not going to entertain you. I was like, Tank, what the hell is that?
Right.
You know, fight the man. Oh, I'm not going to entertain you. That proved to me that Tank was ducking Lomachenko. And, you know, just because a fighter has my same complexion, that don't mean I'm going to bring heat to him too. If he deserves it, I'm going to bring heat to him. You know, Terence Crawford, Deontay Wilder, Errol Spence, they doing the heavy lifting. I say Crawford because you can talk about his resume, but he's a 3-division world champ. You know, it's sad that he's on top rank, but that's another story for another day. Earl Spence doing all the heavy lifting. Deontay Wilder taking another chance fighting Luis Ortiz.
Yeah.
The Lomachenko resume is not bad. It's not bad. You know, but I want to see him fight Devin Haney. That's why we beat Devin Haney. I'm gonna give him credit.
Right. And see, that's the thing. Hold on. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, this is Muhammad is the one. What up, Blue?
What's shaking with you, bro? How you feeling?
Yeah, good, man. I'll be going to, rehabilitation in another couple of days. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But everything is good. Trying to put the body back together, brother. You know what I mean?
That's. I mean, without that, you ain't got nothing.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. But you know what? Hey, Blue, remember when we was in elementary school and we used to get the pass to go to the bathroom? That's what this franchise thing reminds me of.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what it is, man.
Right. Who actually came up with this? Did you guys know where did this come from? Who started this?
I have the WBC started this, man.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
You know, it's like I said, man. What it is these dudes. It's not the WBC's fault. Well, it is. But what it is these fighters are going to them and saying, listen, these are your rules. You mandate me to fight this person and that person. I'm not going to fight them. I'm going to leave. And so what the WBC essentially is doing is looking at, the brand and saying, listen, we don't want you to leave and continue to represent our brand. That's why Mauricio Suleiman said, even if he wins the fight with Richard Coleman and Teofimo Lopez, he'll still be undisputed champ because he'll still be representing our brand. You understand what I'm saying? So essentially, what it just what it did was what this does is it exposes the fact that these dudes are going to the WBC and they're saying that they don't want to fight these mandatories. That's the bottom line. You understand what I'm saying? It just proves that these dudes are saying, listen, I'm not fighting them. I'm not fighting Devin Haney. You understand?
Yeah, if you force me to fight him, I will leave your sanctioning body.
Exactly.
So if give me the out, I don't care what do what you need to do. I'm pretty sure Lomachenko came in like, look, I'm not fighting Devin Haney. So you might as well go and make me franchise champion. And it's ridiculous. And I swear to God, if they would have done this to a brother, they would have. You would see the brother catching all kind of crap right now if he would have been franchised. It's ridiculous, man. It's absolutely nonsense.
Yep.
Right. Well, let me ask y'all a question because I know you got other callers on the line. I'll ask this last question because you guys are all upfront and personal on this whole thing. Do you think that this here hinges on
having just undefeated records instead of fighting it out and being legends that way? I mean, what do you guys think?
No, because Vasily Lomachenko ain't undefeated.
Oh, that's right.
And neither is Canelo Alvarez.
You're right.
Both of them got a loss.
Blue, thanks for taking my call, man. And
hey, man,
keep up the work, man. And I'll see you one of these days in Cali. And Kurt, you got my love, man. And everything keep it up, man. Black Media Row, LDBC, baby.
Yes, sir. Hey, listen, man. Take care of yourself, man, and get better, bro.
Yes, sir. We'll be seeing each other down the road.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
All right, brother.
All right.
God
bless you.
Peace.
All right. Peace.
What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, it's Bonton, South D-Town. What's up with it?
Oh, he in the building. What's shaking with you?
Man, what's up, man? What's up, Chad? What's up, Kurt?
Hey, what's going on, Southtown? What's up, bro?
Hey, man, I could have come from a whole different perspective. I'm going to keep it 100, because I'm going to call it a bottle, a strike. Okay, now here we go. They should have made them drop their belt. If they didn't want to fight, they should have threw the belts in a trash can or something, and they should have made 2 more fights, 2 more mandatories. The next 2 people up to fight for the belt. They should have been embarrassed like that for dropping the belt, for not fighting them. This is the WBC should have did. But no, they try to save them from looking embarrassed and dropping the belt and not fighting Devin Haney, Lamar Charlo. So here's the thing. I'm going to put the fault on 5 people. I'm going to put the fault on WBC. I'm going to put the fault on Canelo. I'm going to put the fault on Jamal Charlo. I'm going to put the fault on Lomachenko. I'm going to put the fault on Devin Haney. Why? What you talking about, Bonton? Because here's the thing. If Jamal Charlo and Devin Haney don't take the belt, then they gotta make some more mandatory. They gotta get Devin Haney gotta fight somebody for the belt. Jamal Charlo gotta fight somebody for the belt. But by them taking the belt, it makes them really agree with the WBC doing this, because it's gonna keep doing it. It's gonna keep happening. So if they don't take the belts when they don't fight them, they're going to have to drop the belt, and they're going to have to find David Haney, another fighter, and find Charlo, another fighter, and they're going to fight for the belt. It's going to be legit then. They're going to win the belt legit. But now by them taking the belt, it hurt the whole boxing sport, the fans, everybody. So the only way we're going to have to keep this from continuing to happen, because all they did is giving them a way to duck and not look bad by giving them a franchise belt and giving the other fighter who they mandatory is the actual belt. So now, we the fans gonna have to put a full-court press on the WBC and anybody who takes the belt won't continue to happen. Because the sport is they change the rules. They move the goalposts. It don't look good for the home team. Boxing look like wrestling. We already know we're gonna win before the fight even starts.
Mm-hmm. And another thing about that is, we got to look at it from this standpoint. Now, Devin Haney is going to be in a tough fight right out the gate. His first fight is going to be the winner of Teofimo Lopez versus Jesus Cuellar, and I mean Teofimo Lopez, Javier Fortuna against Jesus Cuellar, and Javier Fortuna is going to beat Jesus Cuellar, right? So he's going to be facing Javier Fortuna right out the gate. Right out the gate. His first defense is going to be against Javier Fortuna, who is the Sean Porter of the lightweight division. Right? And so what about who did Lomachenko defend the WBC belt against? Nobody.
But that's the point. That's the point, though. He gets rewarded. Here's the thing, though. Imagine if Deontay Wilder had decided to not fight Dillian White. They said Dillian White never popped dirty, and Deontay Wilder just decided, you know what? I want to be franchise champion. Man, Deontay Wilder will be getting destroyed by ESPN, by The Zone, by Sky Sports. But Lomachenko go get a pass. He's gonna get an absolute pass. This is how boxing works. It must be nice to be on the other side. But like I said, just time for us to not acknowledge these dudes. Because you know what? If you notice, a lot of these fans who co-sign this kind of behavior, what Vasily Lomachenko has done, they always want to know what the LDBC thinks. How come the LDBC is not talking? Isn't that funny? I always get that question. And Blue, isn't that funny? I always get, how come you never talk about this fighter? How come you're not showing this fighter a ton of love? How come you hate this fighter? How come you always hate? And the funny thing, they always accuse Blue of hating on some fighter. When Blue will talk up that fighter and give that same fighter credit, but they never see the videos where Blue is giving these guys credit, but Blue has always been accused of being a hater of that such fighter. It's unbelievable, man. But it shows you the kind of power that we have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't understand. Like, that's why I'm telling Roosevelt Hill to call in, bro. Call in, because you're saying as soon as Kurt started to talk about Usyk, he says, "Here come the hate again." So it's clear what side of the fence you on, right? So call in. It's clear that you want to defend Roosevelt Hill. He wants to defend the Eastern Europeans, right? No disrespect to them. Yeah.
Let me say this one thing. I'm gonna get off the phone.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. Because basically what they're doing, they're making Deontay Wilder, Gary Russell Jr., and Earl Spence, whoever else got the WBC belt, do all the heavy lifting because they gotta fight their mandatory. So now the franchise belt, they can fight whoever they want. They ain't gotta fight no mandatory. So they can just pick and choose, cherry pick all they want. But the ones who got the belt, they gotta fight the mandatory, which is gonna be the real competition. So basically, they giving them a green light to just cherry pick and duck the real competition and just pick the soft one.
Yeah.
So it's really it ain't good because it's making the sport look. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. We used to people going in there getting it like Sean Porter and Errol Smith.
Yeah.
Proving who really is the best.
Yep.
They take that element out of the sport. All right, man. I'm gonna give a shout out to the chat, man. Everybody in the chat, man. Who you know what I'm saying? Who makes the LDBC? You know what I'm saying? What it is. And y'all brothers on LBC, the part of LBC that put out this good tough content and give us somewhere to come and listen to and talk. You know what I'm saying? That help us get through our day every day. So I want to say thanks and shout out to everybody, man. I'm going to say peace out, man, and stay up, man. I'm out of here, man.
Salute.
Let me say one real thing real quick, Blue. Isn't it funny? Isn't it funny, Lomachenko and Canelo both go out of their way not to fight elite Black American fighters, or at least say young Black American fighters. Isn't that something? Does it feel like that's kind of they kind of been in a similar same pathway to avoid elite American Black fighters? Or am I missing something?
No, you spot on. And this is what we're gonna do. As Roosevelt Hill, we're gonna leave the phone lines open just for you, because you just said, right? And I'm paying attention to exactly what you said, right? Because I'm gonna cook with you, brother. So you said that you said he wants to. The reason why you feel this way is because he wants his next fight to be unification. That trumps mandatories, but he must fight Haney now. Shaking my head. Well, guess what, my brother? Roosevelt Hill, he said he wanted to fight for Undisputed. That's the reason why he didn't want to fight Devin Haney. But he can no longer fight for Undisputed because he vacated the WBC belt. So call in, brother. The phone lines is open for you. We ain't going to take no callers until you call in. So call in, bro. So because you said that he wanted to fight for Undisputed and unifications. Now we acting like we thrusting Devin Haney upon you, right? No, we ain't thrusting Devin Haney upon him. He said that he wanted to fight. The reason he wasn't going to fight Devin Haney was for the fact that he wanted to fight for Undisputed against the Teofimo Lopez, Richard Comey winner. But guess what? He'll be fighting the winner of that fight for no reason. Now answer that question. Now why would he be fighting the winner of that fight for no reason? Because he just fought Luke Campbell for no apparent reason. He fought Luke Campbell for no reason. Am I right, Kurt?
You're exactly right.
Isn't that funny? He fought him just because he felt like fighting.
Go ahead, Kurt.
Now I was going to say Luke Campbell didn't want to fight Devin Haney. Nobody seems to, want to fight Devin because they see a big dude who's athletic. See, Devin Haney's style is all wrong for a whole lot of people. And I'm gonna keep it 100. They always stayed away from athletic young Black fighters, man, Black American fighters, man. This is going on for decades, man. Because when they do face them, they usually get an L. They usually get an L, you know. And you know, when we look back on Canelo's career, you know, we don't know if he ever gonna lose a fight again, but we always gonna look at that Mayweather fight and use it as a barometer.
Exactly.
You know, and it's always gonna be a barometer. That's why he wanted to fight Mayweather when he know Mayweather is all old and washed up. It bothers him, and it bothers Canelo fan base that he took such a loss. That fight lingers in the back of their mind. Don't be fooled, because I talk to his fans all the time, and that fight today, that's why they hate him. That fight today still bothers them. You know, if Mayweather came out of retirement at the age of 65 with a cane and glasses, they will fight Mayweather. That's how much it bothers them. And you know, with Haney, I told people, you better get him now, because the longer you wait, the tougher it's going to be. The more experience he gets, that Fortuna fight is perfect for him to fight a Lomachenko, because Fortuna is very awkward. He's going to get a lot of experience. If he go out there and mollywop Fortuna, it's too late for everybody. Everybody. You better get him now.
Yep. And Roosevelt Hill said, okay, and we got my brother Mahari Nation on the line. He's in the room too, Kurt. We got Mahari Nation on too. Mahari, just give us 1 second, right?
Hey, we're shaking, brothers. How y'all doing tonight, man?
Chilling.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good, bro. I want Roosevelt. We want Mr. Roosevelt to call in, bro. He talking about that. That Lomachenko got 3 of the belts. Well, tell him to come. He can still fight. He can still fight Devin Haney, bro, for his belt. How about that?
Hey, Roosevelt Hill, I want to ask you this question, right? You said, okay, and he's still it's still a unification because he got other belts, right? But why? So explain to us this. Why did he block Devin Haney from getting the WBC to begin with if he was just going to get it and drop it? Because Devin Haney was supposed to fight Luke Campbell for the WBC belt, and Vasily Lomachenko stepped in front of him and prevented him from fighting it.
Hold on. You know what else Blue they could have did? If he's not afraid of Devin Haney, what he could have did is he could have asked Luke Campbell to step aside, right, and then let him fight Devin Haney for the. How can he put that out as an option?
Yep. It is, man. Hey, listen, we the phone lines is open for you, Roosevelt. Come on, man. Let's do it, man. You got about 40 minutes, bro. The phone line's open just for you. We ain't gonna answer for nobody else. You said your area code is 813. We waiting for you to call in, bro, because you ain't making no sense right now. That ain't him. We waiting for you to call in, bro. Mahari, go ahead and cook, bro.
Thank God I was never a Lomachenko fan in the first place, because I would have lost all respect for him right there. Bro, here's the thing, man. How is it that he is awarded a franchise belt after he just got the belt from a vacant title fight? How in the hell does that make any sense? I mean, listen, I'm trying very, very hard to stick in boxing, because without the love of the LDBC and new media and black media's role, bro, I just give up on the sport, because these are the type of things that is making the sport much more unbearable to support. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, we know for a fact that the WBC has done some shady stuff in their history, but the fact that you're giving a franchise tag to a guy that has basically only had 15 fights to his record, and you're basing off of his amateur status, and then Mauricio Sulaiman comes in here and says, oh, he can still be undisputed. No, he can't. So if I were Devin Haney at this point, throw the belt in the trash can. Go do a Riddick bow, throw the belt in the trash can, send a message loud and clear that the WBC belt doesn't mean anything, because with this franchise tag, which I'm calling it from this point forward, with this franchise tag in place, it is devaluing the legacy and the reputation of the original WBC belt that was earned by all the great boxers in the past. It's a complete disgrace.
Yep. Hey, listen, Roosevelt, I just come to the conclusion, and he ain't gonna call him, man. He'd rather just stay in the chat. And Roosevelt Hill, I like Roosevelt Hill, man. He always here, and salute to you, brother. But you know what you're talking about right now is BS.
Bro, let me tell you something right now, man. This Roosevelt Hill guy, bro, let your balls hang. Get over here, dial up the phone, and call in, bro, because you're racing against an opposition that knows what they're talking about and done their history. All right, you're not winning this debate. Sorry, man.
Yeah, no, it's not even a debate. Like it's just, I mean, it's utterly ridiculous to say anything less than Lomachenko just don't want to fight Devin Haney. There is no excuse. There is no explanation for doing this. There is no explanation for stepping in front of Devin Haney and taking a Luke Campbell fight. Right? What did he think that? Let's get to this 317 because this call is relentless. What's your name? Where you calling from?
317 coming from the Nasty City.
Salute. What's shaking with you?
Y'all doing all right. One was happening, Blue and Kurt, Callie, and Mahari.
What's good, man?
Man, same old. Let me throw my little cent and a half in on this. Riding back from Fort Wayne, Indiana, doing a late night job last night, and I deal with a guy that actually is in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, he's an MMA guy. Well, me and him rap back and forth, and him being an MMA guy, he still has more knowledge than the casuals. He loves Lomachenko. As I was kind of breaking it down to him about, what's lined up next, he has no idea about the franchise tag. He says there's too many belts in boxing and everything is wrong. And this kind of mess right here is going on with Loma and Haney. That's what's kind of killing the sport, man. Like my one brother said, like Mark just said, man, it can be kind of hard. Now, I'm not going to ever give up. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I know what's out there. I know the fights can be made and need to be made, but the politics is killing it. And this mess right here with Haney and Loma, man, it's like another great disappointment because I don't think it has to be true. I don't even remember ever hearing about no franchise champion. Could y'all explain to me when this kind of came about, or is it something that, I don't know, Suleiman or whoever the people that, kind of running that sanctioning body is pulling stuff about their behalf for certain individuals?
Yeah, this came about 2 months ago. This wasn't in existence. This is something the WBC adopted from the NFL when Canelo Alvarez said, listen, I'm going to step away from it. I'm going to vacate this belt. I'm not going to represent your franchise. And they said, listen, we can't have that because you bring in too much revenue and too much exposure to our sanction body. So they franchise tagged him because he didn't want to fight Jamal Charlo, right? Jamal Charlo was the mandatory. So they franchised him and then said, listen, what we could do here is we could satisfy Jamal Charlo because he wants that belt. So just give him the belt. And you still represent us, and we'll just elevate you to a status that's unheard of. Right, and so you're protected forever. He can't lose that. It's a title. It's not a belt. It's an award. It's a trophy. So now he can never lose that. When you get a trophy, when you get the Heisman Trophy, right, and they give you the Heisman Trophy, unless you did something in your past to make them say, listen, we taking this back from you, you are forever a Heisman Trophy candidate, regardless of what you do in the NFL. And this is what they placed on boxing now. This is what they're implementing in the sport of boxing. And like Ness said, shout out to the boxing voice, he said, this is not even boxing. This is not the format for boxing. This has nothing to do with boxing. It has no place in boxing. And so now they did it with Vasily Lomachenko. Why? Because we know that Devin Haney is knocking on his door. If let's say if Gervonta Tank Davis was the WBC mandatory, right? And for the interim spot or whatever the spot is, right? It's too many spots to begin with. But let's say Tank Davis did that. Vasily Lomachenko would not have been elevated to franchise because he would have taken on Gervonta Tank Davis. Why? Because he feels like he sees something in Gervonta Tank Davis that he could exploit. He don't see that in Devin Haney. So he don't want to fight Devin Haney. Devin Haney is much bigger. He's just as quick as Gervonta Tank Davis. He has power. He's accurate. He's a better boxer. And so his skill set is not going to frustrate Devin Haney, but he could frustrate Tank Davis. That's the reason why he continues to call out Gervonta Tank Davis, but he won't fight Devin Haney. And so this is very clear. And now you think about this, because I said this and I broke this down some time back, okay? Teofimo Lopez and Richard Coleman are not fighting until December 14th. Okay, so the last time Vasily Lomachenko fought was what? Last month. Okay, so that would place him by the time the winner of that fight is ready to go. They won't be ready to go until about at the very least February, right?
But remember, he said, remember at this last fight, Lomachenko said he wanted to fight one more time before the year is out, and then that's when people started putting pressure on us to then fight Devin Haney, and this is when all this came about.
Because Devin Haney is your mandatory. So so satisfy your mandatory. If you fought in September and the next time you're gonna fight is not gonna be till February or March, right? That places you out the ring for a very long time. So if Vasily Lomachenko came out and said, I want to have another fight before the year's out, so why not that fight be your mandatory? Right? Because a la Deontay Wilder, right? Nobody wanted to give when Tyson Fury pulled out the Deontay Wilder fight, right? Deontay Wilder didn't want to fight a tomato can. He said, give me my mandatory. Let me get my mandatory out the way, which was Dominic Brazil, right?
Yep.
So he said, let me satisfy my mandatory and get my mandatory out the way since Tyson Fury pulled out. Okay, so in this case, with Lomachenko, the Undisputed is not going to be available for the fight. That fight is not going to take place from at least 3 months from the last time you fought. Because he fought in September. They're not fighting till December 14th. So the last time you fought to the time they fight, and then you got to tack on another 3 months from the time they fight. So why? And then you say you wanted to get a fight in 3 months from September would be December. So the end of December, you can fight Devin Haney because he's be available and he's going to be your mandatory.
Mm-hmm. See, yeah, that's the shenanigans. So I think it's almost safe for us to be able to say that I don't think Tank is trying to duck the smoke with Loma. I think there might be a little bit of politics and Floyd up in there not wanting to go with him. But I could say that Loma's been calling out Tank, from what I've heard over the last year and a half, a couple of years or whatever, he's been calling out Tank, but then he don't want to fade with Haney. So, you know what I'm saying, man, it's just clear and evident, man. I'm just glad y'all here to kind of put it out because I had to tell my buddy about that with Canelo because, he's a Canelo fan and I understand. But then when he's, asking me about why he moved up and this, that, and the other, I'm sorry, I didn't have no choice. I felt like the truth was he didn't want no heart. He didn't want to deal with Charlo. So, that's like you was talking about the franchise with Canelo. And then here it is. Wasn't Charlo the interim champion there for a second?
For who? Canelo?
For the WBC. Yeah, for the WBC.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was the interim champion before Canelo won the belt off of Triple G. But I'm gonna tell you this. I don't believe Lomachenko wanted to fight Gervonta Davis anymore either, man. I think he felt like after his last few performances that he don't even believe he could beat him anymore. If you look how quickly how Gervonta Davis just hopped up there, Gervonta trying to get that fight. I don't think he wasn't looking to fight any young black fighter right now. This dude over there talking about going to fight Monster. Really? Monster? You want to fight? You want to fight a 118-pounder at 126? This is a joke, man. I mean, how can he not be catching all kind of, he should be catching a lot of flack right now, man. It's unbelievable. How can he even put that out there and not a bunch of people get pissed off? Man, really? Who becomes undisputed? Let's just say he did. Let's say he didn't vacate. Who becomes undisputed and then goes back down? You don't go down the way to become undisputed at a weight division. You stay up, or you try to go to the next weight division to try to conquer that, or you at least stay at that division you're at, and you try to dominate anybody else to try to come contend for you. That come for you. But the last thing you do is go down. You're going to go down to 130. Bob Arum put that out there. I know it's happening because Bob Arum stated it. He said, after become undisputed, after the Richard Comey or after he fights Richard Comey or Teofimo Lopez, he moved it down. And I don't know if you guys heard it. I was listening to an interview on Shoot the Five, and Teofimo Lopez left the opening for him to duck Devin Haney too. Yep. Just want to throw that out there, man. Just get ready for it. Mm-hmm. He don't sound too interested in fighting. He said that he's a boring fighter.
Let me just say this, though, too, guys. Here's the bottom line to this. If I were Devin Haney and I were Jamal Charlo, take those belts, throw them out in the trash. Because the fact is, the WBC do not value black fighters. All right. The fact here's what really is disgusting with me. The fact that Mauricio Sulaiman's father, Jose Sulaiman, is in the Boxing Hall of Fame, is in the International Boxing Hall of Fame, is a complete travesty because he's done way worse, shady stuff in the sport of boxing with Don King back in the day, and Curtis Anderson can attest to that. So the bottom line is this: take the IBF route. The IBF route follows their rules. They don't change much at all. Okay, and they enforce their mandatories. And if you're not going to take the mandatories, they'll strip you of the belts. So the WBC is a completely trashy sanctioning body. It should be gone forever. I just cannot for the life of me understand the kind of shady decisions and shady politics that they try to do to protect guys like Canelo Alvarez, who honestly doesn't even need belts because he believes that he's above the belts.
Mm-hmm. Everybody want to be Floyd Mayweather and be above the belts, man.
Yeah, I always looked at the WBC as most prestigious for the longest. You know what I'm saying? Even before I understood what was up with all the sanctioning bodies together as a whole. But man, if there was any kind of way, I don't know, whether change.org or some kind of petition, man, if somebody was to get something together to kind of put somewhat of a stop or stand up and kind of say something with the nonsense going on in our sport, I'd be down to saying it more than one time. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take up all the time, man, so I'm going to go ahead and get on up off here. Hey, look, brothers, keep doing what y'all doing, man, and I'll get with y'all on the next one.
Peace, brother. Appreciate it.
Peace, bro. Later.
And see, the thing is this, man. When you got when you have, Lomachenko, like Callie said, he's willing to go down and fight Haney. Like, but then in the same token, that caller is we know who that is, right? That's the weirdo trying to call in to say something. The Rock, he continues to call in. Amazing, man. But he wants to go down and fight Haney. But still in all, he wants Haney to come up to a weight class that he's comfortable with. So he wants Haney to come in at super featherweight. Like, what are we doing here? And we're going to continue to give this dude a pass. You understand? Like, this hurts the sport of boxing. This type of behavior, man, this guy's relentless. This kind of behavior hurts the sport of boxing, man. It does. Am I right, Kurt?
Yeah, you're exactly right, man. Another black eye for the sport.
It truly is, man. It truly is. Yeah, Big LT, I saw Ness. That's what I was talking about. That's why I wanted to, man, this guy's relentless, man.
Dude, just hang up on him, bro.
Yeah, I continue to keep hanging up, man. This guy's is outrageously relentless, man. It's ridiculous. Jesus. You can't make this up, man. Standing in the way of and let me ask y'all, I want to ask y'all this. I want to start with Kurt. What is it about Gervonta Tank Davis that Vasily Lomachenko feel comfortable fighting him, but don't feel comfortable in fighting Devin Haney? What do he see, Kurt, in your opinion?
My estimation is that his athleticism and his aggression will be too much for Tank. He can be underestimating Tank, sort of like what Mikey Garcia did with Earl Spence. He underestimated his boxing ability, and Tank has the tools to beat Lomachenko. The thing with Tank is that I would like to see him fight better fighters. Gamboa is a little passive, but it's a start. It's weird. Certain fighters have intuition about other fighters, like Antonio Tarver did with Roy Jones. He was right, because the result says so. But there's fighters like Devin Haney. You see a big athletic fighter who has exquisite footwork. That's the key to beating Lomachenko, because Lomachenko, would use his aggression and foot speed, to get inside, but he couldn't do that. Haney can neutralize Lomachenko, and that's what Lomachenko sees. Dude, Haney is big. He has a lot of length, and he's like really athletic. He's young. He's energetic. He has a lot of intangibles that can offset Lomachenko. Lomachenko called out Tank because he's not sure. He thinks that will get him over if he fights Tank. That Tank is not like tall and lean like Haney, and I can get inside and be aggressive with Tank, but Tank has speed and power, and I think Tank can hurt Lomachenko to the body, but Lomachenko, that's what he sees. He feels comfortable because he don't really believe in Tank. Like Haney, he's getting his intuition about stay away from him.
And Kurt, Callie, what you think?
Yeah, I think he felt that way at first, but I don't think he feels that anymore. I think he's absolutely moved off of that. Just the way he nonchalantly brought up Tank and Devin Haney, I'm telling you, he moved off of that because he had really stopped calling out Tank. Because remember, Tank moved up to 135. He wasn't talking about Tank. He wasn't. When Tank just moved up to 135, he wasn't talking about Tank no more. He could have started calling out Tank because he was saying that was the closest thing to fighting Floyd Mayweather. But now that Tank's showing confidence, see, I think he wanted Tank when Tank didn't look like he had confidence. The moment Tank started showing some confidence, all that changed. The roles reversed. He wasn't looking to fight. He's not looking to fight anybody like Tank. No one with speed and power. So for the most part, he's looking for guys who are kind of slower, flat-footed. You know what I mean? Guys have been knocked down or been knocked out multiple times. Them kind of guys. He's not looking for fresh guys, young guys, fast guys. I'm just telling you, I've moved on. I've seen enough for Lomachenko. I don't care what anybody say. Lomachenko get knocked out by Tank Davis, get flatlined. He know it. And like I said, I understand why he was calling him. He was calling him out last year, but it's a new year. I'm telling you, that dude just went life and death with two dudes that Gervonta Davis would destroy. Two dudes that Gervonta Davis would absolutely destroy. He knows it. He knows it. I think Lomachenko thought he was better than what he was. I'm talking about himself. And I think he found out that he wasn't as good as he thought he was. And those struggles that he had with mediocre fighters at best told him that he needs to stay away from young black fighters. I'm telling you, he don't want to fight, which is why he brought up anyway. He ain't even talking about Gary Russell Jr. He not talking about black athletic fighters. I'm just telling you. If you look at the people he point out, the guys he want to fight, he not pointing out the brother. He looking at Richard Comey because Richard Comey is a little bit wild. He has power, but he believes he can just outbox him. You know what I'm saying? But he not talking about athletic brothers with skill, man. I'm just telling you, man. I'm just looking at the pattern of Lomachenko. He don't believe he can beat either one of them dudes, man. Or even Gary Russell Jr., which is why he not going to try to rematch him, bro. I'm just telling you. Just get ready for it. And he going to get credit for it. It's totally justified. It'll be totally justified what he's doing. I see what he's doing. I know I can see what Lomachenko can't beat either one of them dudes, bro. And the whole goal is Lomachenko want that what's going to be pushed. We're going to start hearing saying, well, you'll buy around and start saying, I think that Tank and Devin Haney should fight each other. It just makes more sense. And sure, that's what makes my fight. I would love to say. I think it's great for the sport of boxing. I'm telling you, wait for it. It's coming.
Hey, Mahari, what you think?
Agreed, man. You gotta wait until you can't wait until.
Mahari, you there?
Yeah, sorry about that. I accidentally unplugged my headphones. But here's the thing: you wait until the excuses of Bob Arum start to pop out. All right, listen. The way that Lomachenko moves is he don't like to face against, athletic skill fighters. He don't like to face against, phone booth type of fighters. That's why he has not ever taken a rematch with Orlando Salido. He never given Gary Russell a rematch, okay? And he's never given Guillermo Enrique now a deserved rematch, all right? The bottom line is this. Vasily Lomachenko, like I said many times, is a good fighter, but he's not what people make him out to be. And it shows how he maneuvers around in these divisions, okay? Listen, has he ever listen, every single fight on his record is always for a championship. He never worked his way up the ladder like all the other fighters have and earned those championship title belts. And the fact that he's ranked as a #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the sport by Ring Magazine is a complete travesty. This guy is overhyped, and when he gets exposed by an athletically superior and skilled fighter, people are going to recognize who this guy really is. All right? I'm done. Listen, I'm not going to vouch for Tank Davis and Devin Haney to fight each other. All right? Because the fact is, that's basically the words of the Black Murderers Row. Let me tell you this right now. I'm going to say it right here on your channel. This is the modern day Black Murderers Row. All right? We're seeing it right now in this generation.
I agree. Hey, we got my brother Legendary Top Cats in the building. What's good with you, Legendary? Yo, you on mute, bro. Legendary. There you go.
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Pace, turn up, goddammit. Boots on the grind. What's up with it, bro? All the world in the building.
We gotta watch the cursing on here because YouTube.
Okay, yeah, you're right. They on my grandma listening anyway. I told her I'm gonna be on Blue Blood today. Yeah, my grandma listening.
He said my grandma was listening anyway. Hey, that's my brother Legendary, man. He reside in Texas, but he Harlem through and through, man. It's my brother right there. What's good with you, bro? Go ahead and go.
Oh man, you know, right now, what we seeing is, I mean, it's the same thing that's been going on in boxing. You know, they just dress it up. I want to show y'all something too, though. Y'all remember when Germany was pushing Max Mellon? You know what I'm saying? This that type of situation. You know what I'm saying? They always been looking for a fighter. So I just want y'all to understand the key words, the different language that they use in all of this here. When they talking about Vasily Lomachenko is pound for pound and all of this, they not talking about us. You know what I'm saying? Lomachenko is the best white fighter that they have. You understand me? And the #1 rule on this planet right here is self-preservation. You understand me? So they are preserving their best. You understand me? And it's up to us to preserve ours. We out here yelling for ours to kill each other. You understand me? When the last time Canelo fought a Mexican? You understand me? Lomachenko, my bad. Lomachenko is their best. You understand me? So that's how they can make him undefeated and all that, because they've been looking for this champion, this great white hope forever. You understand me? And the story goes on. So that's how we seeing right now. But they never gave us a voice though. And right now they basically shutting us out because there is no voice. There's nothing to push against that. You understand me? So they control the narrative. That's how they feel. That's how ESPN can say this man undefeated when we know that he lost. You understand me? But they are basically turning their back on us. You understand me, man? And like Kelly was building on earlier, you know what I'm saying? We got to hit them in their pocket. You understand me? And that's the only time anybody gonna respect you, especially our people. I want to point that out. Especially our people. You understand me? Group economics is what got us through in the past, homie. And group economics is what's gonna get us through today. You understand me? We're gonna have to stick together to fight against this. You understand me? Terrence Bud Crawford, the situation that he in, it's gonna get deeper, man. But I just wanted to point that out, Blue, and I'm gonna hop off. But at the same time, they was gonna strip Lomachenko like they was gonna strip They was putting that pressure on the WBC, and they had to do the right thing. Devin Haney was next. It was nothing to talk about, and Lomachenko team wasn't ready just yet. Not how they was talking. You understand me? Because the muscle was about to come quick. You understand me? And that's not what Lomachenko didn't wanted. They worked out another deal, homie, because they wanted Lomo, like I said, because of his complexion, homie. But Canelo got stripped too. You see that they not just gonna give you that title, homie. Mm-hmm. They didn't wait for something happened behind the scene. Just like Keith Thurman had to give up his belt to Danny Garcia and Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's these behind the scene conversations.
I mentioned that. You know what? I'm glad you just brought that up, bro. I forgot. Why didn't they elevate Keith Thurman to franchise at that point?
You feel me? We ain't heard from. They ain't said nothing about Keith Thurman WBC belt. Danny Garcia is the mandatory for the WBC right now. You know what I'm saying? What happened to Keith Thurman? They said, all right, when he come back, he can step in line anytime and have that fight. What happened to that? You understand me?
Right. If that was the case, when that happened, instead of Sean Porter and Danny Garcia fighting for the vacant belt, they should have elevated Keith Thurman the franchise champion, right? Because he was unified and he represented the belt more than a little bit. Yeah, but see, he ain't, Gary Russell and Wilder been a champ since 2015. You know what I'm saying? They ain't the right, we can't put you. That's not the picture I want hanging on my poster. You understand me? That's not what I want represent my brand. Hey, I ain't even think about that, legendary man. That was it. I forgot that. I forgot. If that's the case, they should have, especially with Keith Thurman's situation, he was injured.
Facts.
He had an injury. He had a legit excuse for not defending the belt. But they stripped him. Man, I forgot about that, bro.
That's a very good point, man. They did strip Keith Thurman of that belt because he wasn't able to defend it due to injury. So if there's another person that could have had the so-called franchise tag, it could have been Keith Thurman too.
Right, he should have been the first one. Am I right, Kurt?
Yep. Like I said, it ain't for us, man. It ain't for us. They making it clear. It's obvious. Gary Russell could have did the same thing. Nope, not for us.
But in Cali, especially in Keith Thurman's situation, Cali, he was injured.
Yeah, the Keith Thurman definitely deserved to be made franchise champion, man. I mean, he was the perfect one. He was the perfect test case to go with that. Lisa, the franchise champion, Lee should have said he was injured. Yeah, he should have been, but he's not the right color. So, and that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You got to be the right color. And like put it this way, like Dave Top Cat said, yeah, they're not looking for us to lead the way because we already lead the way in reality. And when it comes to being the best, it's us. I know people don't want to hear it, but when it comes to the all-time best, the best of all time, it's us. So they're tired of us being the face of boxing. So they got to manufacture one. They got to manufacture their version. Because we have Ali, we have Larry Holmes, we have. Look at that. We got a slew. Sugar Ray Robinson, Jack Johnson. We got a long line of dominance.
Great history.
So
man. Rich history.
Yeah, man. Legendary, man. I'm glad you brought, man. Until Legendary just brought that up, man, I totally forgot about that, man. Hey, King, I'm glad you brought that up, man. Listen, and this dude, Keith Thurman, was injured. If anybody deserved it, it was him.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
Hey, Keith Thurman at home tripping right now. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman can't believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because we had a different conversation when it was my situation. You know what I'm saying? It was you ain't had that same tone, Mauricio, man. You know what I'm saying? I love you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for what you done for me. But that, we ain't had that same conversation. But like saying, it's been a dominant so long, man, that they's coming to a point where they have to try to get us out the way. You understand me? They have to try to get us out the way. Because as long as we got something to do with it, it's gonna be our face up there. You know what I'm saying? And they getting desperate right now, man. They made this man undefeated. He's an undefeated champion, franchise. Never had a title defense, man. Never had a title defense.
And listen,
let me ask you something. Do you think that one day they may be like a super franchise champion, not just a franchise champion? I'm not joking. It's a legitimate question.
Hold on one second, Callie. What about Clarissa Shields?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Good, though. Not for her. Not for us.
Didn't she win the WBC in 3 different weight classes?
Turn up.
Not for us.
If I'm mistaken, if I'm wrong, somebody correct me, man. But didn't she won? She held the WBC, right, in all the weight classes, at least 2.
Yeah,
right?
she does. She does.
Just took one from Hammer.
Amazing, man.
But I'm serious about that. You don't think so? Potentially having a super franchise champion when they want to elevate again, so they can have more than another franchise champion. Maybe if they want to do one more at 160, if Canelo's still fighting, they go. Canelo becomes super franchise champion. Then you got a franchise champion, and then you got a regular WC champion. The way things are going, you think that's out of me? You think that's a crazy idea? You think that's possible? It's a legitimate question, Blue.
I think Triple G next.
Say it again, Callie. I'm still tripping.
No, I'm saying, do you think there's a chance that if they decide they want to do it again at 160, do you think they upgrade Canelo to super franchise champion and then maybe make Triple G to just the franchise champion?
Oh yeah.
Anything's possible.
Guys, I'm doing my live stream. Pardon me, y'all. But yeah. We see the last fight with Sergey Derevyanchenko. It was clear he lost that fight, man. They don't want man. Listen, the agenda is you know what now. You know before they used to hide it. Now they ain't even using Vaseline, man. You understand what I'm saying? They used to hide it before. They tried to hide it to the best of their abilities. Now they ain't even using Vaseline, man.
I'm gonna tell you something. It's not a coincidence that they was banking on this. They was banking on the Eastern European fighters becoming crossover stars. That they was going to connect with the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant boxing fans in America. That didn't happen. It's not a coincidence that soon as that failed, that HBO went under. That's not that. Look at the timetable. Look at the timeline. It's not a mistake because they didn't want to see us on there anymore, and they underestimated Floyd Mayweather's worth. When he left, that's when the company, if you don't have an American fighter, to right the ship, your ship is going to sink. That's just how it's designed. It's the number one market, but they were thinking Golovkin was going to be that dude. That's why HBO was propping him up to be this Terminator type of fighter. And when he didn't connect, remember, he had a commercial and everything. The Apple commercial, it still didn't work. And they wanted people like Chocolatito and Golovkin to be the face of boxing on HBO, but it didn't work because people was clamoring for like Floyd Mayweather, and it didn't work. And that's when HBO said, you know what, we're going to shut operations down. That's peak game. That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, though? I just thought of something. Remember when Pacquiao debuted in America on HBO?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just say it like this. From that day forward, when Pacquiao was transited to America, HBO, I think, from my opinion, HBO agenda was set. Let's build European crossover fighters from the other side of the globe. Let's bring them to America, and let's show the boxing public that these guys are way better than the American product. Because remember, Floyd Mayweather was doing a lot more stuff in his own divisions, and he was on HBO, and they still crapped it on him. Okay? Mm-hmm. So, at the end of the day, man, HBO did themselves because they wanted to push an international boxing, agenda, and it blew up in their face. And when Mayweather left HBO, that was a game changer, and it was the beginning of the end because nobody was tuning into HBO other than Pacquiao fights. But after Pacquiao lost to Mayweather, what happened to that network after that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I look at that as sort of a curse that occurs, sort of like a flower that kind of just grew to the point where it lost a lot of its usefulness. That's where I thought of when Pacquiao debuted on HBO. They looked at Pacquiao is like, ooh, we could certainly bounce on this, and they pushed him harder, probably more than Floyd Mayweather did, in my opinion, at least.
Mm-hmm. Man, we got to get out of here, man, because I know the General 7-8 coming on. Man, I want to continue this tomorrow, man, but we ain't gonna. I just thought about it. We ain't gonna be able to do the show tomorrow, Kurt, because I'll be at Pat Day's funeral tomorrow, man. It starts at 6:00 tomorrow evening. So
rest in peace, Patrick Day.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, I'll be at that. Unfortunately, man. So but listen, man. I want to get everybody back on, man, because I want to continue this, man. So I think what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna hit up the General 7-8, see if we can flip flop tomorrow hours, man, because I'll be done at the funeral around 8 o'clock, man. If y'all ready, man, if y'all available, I'm gonna try to see if the General could come on, flip flop the hours. If he come on earlier, and then we come on at his time,
Yeah, we'll be here. We'll be here if you want to join.
Yeah,
on 7 Days live stream.
you know what else we need to get on though too? Usyk, man, because like I said, that dude is ranked number 4 now. So
Yep.
I got an agenda. I'm pushing for that fight. I am.
Yeah, that's what
you want a clout chase? Man, we gonna push for that fight. I'm gonna put pressure on them to make themselves expose themselves because the pressure works.
Yeah, man. That's why I said I wanted to continue. I want to continue this, man. I want to continue this. So hopefully, I'm gonna hit up the General 7-8. See if we can split 5. If he come on at 7.
Oh, Blue, one more thing.
We come on at.
Blue, one more thing. If you could shoot a text to the champ, if he beats Ortiz, just to say, Usyk, I want you. I want you. I want him to call. I want him to call Usyk out because, I'm tired of this. I'm sick and tired of the nonsense. You want a cloud chase? You say you want it? Let's get it. Let's see Usyk's response.
Yep. And you know what though? One last thing. Also text the champ. If they offer him the franchise belt, reject it ASAP. Don't ever accept it.
Yep. Hey Mahari, give us your last words, bro.
Hey, it's been a great channel, though, guys. I mean, I love this, though, man. I love these kind of conversations, and it's motivated me to get back into the journalism, writing things again. So I'm actually researching about what the franchise belt is right now. So, but y'all can catch me on the Mahari Nation Sports Podcast. I'm going to go live tonight at 9 p.m. Central Time. We're going to talk about why the NBA favors free speech over the National Football League, and then tomorrow, and actually it's going to be a little bit of earlier time. I'm going to have basketball conversations at 1 p.m. because I got to go to a flag football tournament later on tomorrow night. But we're going to have boxing talk on Saturday at 3 p.m. Central Time. And if you guys want to come over, I will send you out links, no problem whatsoever. And y'all can follow, and y'all can just subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon for all the latest notifications when I go live. Much love to everybody in the chat, though, man. Salute to Blue Blood Sports TV. Keep grinding, though, bro. And I hope your Brooklyn Nets make the NBA Finals.
Now, I'm a Bulls fan, bro.
I know.
Yeah, I've been a Bulls fan since '83. I'm just New York through and through, so I gotta hold it down.
Let me just say this though too. The Knicks need to sell. The Knicks need to get rid of James Dolan. Get rid of. I know you don't want me to cuss, but I'm gonna say it only one time. Get rid of that racist motherfucker, James Dolan.
And not just that though, the Yankees need to upgrade their pitching staff, man. It's clear as day, man.
Oh man, that's a soft spot for me, man. That's a tender spot. It still hurt, man. You know what I'm saying? When you bring them down.
Bro. Bro, I want y'all to win. So I hate the Houston Astros. So sorry, Mac. I root for the Nationals.
And then the Astros go right here and get blown out. The Astros are gonna go. Then they gonna get. Come on, man. But my brother, legendary top cats. Any wise words for you, my brother?
Hey man, y'all gotta get off my Astros, man. Yeah, y'all gotta get off my Astros, man. We go pull it together, man. It was a bad night. Man.
Yeah.
The city was on fire.
It was 4 bad nights for the Yankees against the Astros.
Yeah.
No, but the Yankees should have won game 2, bro. The Yankees gave away game 2 to me, which changed the series.
Sure did.
Agreed.
Sure.
And
the pitching change. Remember the pitching change? I forgot his name. He was pitching well, and they took him out. And the next Ridley pitcher came and gave him a home run right after that. Well, this dude just struck out. He just struck out the side. You're gonna take him out the game? I just don't understand.
Got cold cocked.
You know what, Callie? I'm gonna drop the mic on this. Why in the hell did Dave Roberts decide to put Clayton Kershaw in the game in an elimination game against the Nationals?
That dude a choker, man.
Knowing how horrible Clayton Kershaw has been in the postseason.
Hey, well, let me ask y'all, man. What y'all think about my Niners getting Emmanuel Sanders too, man?
I think that was a great pickup, bro.
Yeah, great pickup, bro.
That's an awesome pickup. Like I said, what I think you guys really need is you guys probably need to pick up another offensive guard or something, man. Right. Maybe a tackle or something. Your offensive line, for pass protection, it's still that's your weak spot. Your weak spot is the pass protection, man. Jimmy Garoppolo get hit way too much, man, for my liking.
Remember,
I don't like what you got. Go ahead.
But remember, both our tackles is out. They both injured.
I know too, but some of the pressure's coming up the middle too, not just on the outside.
Right.
I mean, your front seven on defense, woo, my God, man, it's badass. I mean, you just gotta hope the offensive line can be a little bit better later on down the year, and hopefully that Garoppolo he holds up for the rest of the year. But I mean, your offensive line. That's next year. You guys got to draft offensive line, in my opinion. That's your key.
You know what? Though? Let me say this to you, legendary Top Cats. You better hope and pray that Russell Westbrook and James Harden can coexist together on the basketball court, because I don't see them working well together. They all be fighting each other to get shots.
That's gonna be a good game tonight. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Hey, legendary, you said you a Cowboys fan?
Nah, I gotta ride with the Texans, man. But we just gotta get rid of Bill O'Brien, bro. He just the Junior
Hey, get rid of Daryl Morey, bro. Hey, legendary Top Cats, get rid of Daryl Morey while you at it, though. Too. The dude can't get this team.
I'm gonna shoot it out with him. You feel me?
I like what he said about China, man. He was right on the money to me.
Yeah, me too.
See, I ain't gonna get into that.
I'm talking about. I'm talking about in terms of Carmelo Anthony, what they did to him.
Yeah. Yo, but listen, we gotta get up out of here, man.
We gotta go, man. Y'all tripping. Y'all turning
Hey, legendary, you guys probably happy you're gonna be able to beat the Warriors this year, maybe?
Hey, come on, Cannon. Let me get my watch on, man. Come on, man. Hey, appreciate you, Blue. Appreciate you, Mr. Kirk. Kelly, Nigma, Abel Mahari, you understand me, man? Rocking out with the cat, man. It's always love, man. Hey, man, you can choose, lose, or you can stay confused. You want some cool boxing news? Holla at legendary Top Cat right here on YouTube. Turn up.
Yo, legendary. Yo, tomorrow we're gonna try to do this again. I'm gonna hit up the general, see if we can switch spots, because I want to continue this TBC tomorrow, man.
Bet I'm here.
And then so then we could talk about Pat's, his funeral and all that too. So I want to talk about all that tomorrow.
All right, bet I'm here. Turn up. One.
Sure. Callie, go ahead, Callie.
Oh, for sure, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Raiders fan, man. We all over the place, but I do like the future of our team. We got the youngest defensive line in the league. So shout out to the Raiders, man. I love Josh Jacobs, man. You know what I'm saying? That dude is an absolute beast. You know what I'm saying? So we got to promise the future. Derek Carr, go away. We want to get rid of him, please. Get rid of this dude, man. I can't stand him. Most inaccurate overthrowing dudes by 7 feet when he got 10 hours to throw the ball. Man, I hate this dude. That's a whole other subject. But thanks for letting me come on, Blue. I appreciate it. Yeah, I wanna put a foot in Usyk's behind, man, because I'm tired of the clout chasing, bro. You know what I'm saying? You my brother for life. Salute to you, Curtis Anderson, too, man. Salute to the Tri-State, man. Much love to the Tri-State, man. I'm out.
My brother Callie Enigma, man. Hey, tomorrow, man. Hey, go ahead, Kurt, close us out, bro.
Man, it's been a tough year for me, man. Bell and Brown messed up the culture of the Steelers. How can you win with a third-string quarterback? We had another Super Bowl run in us, man. We would have kept the nucleus of the team. My beloved Miami Hurricanes, they suck. They lost to Georgia Tech, of all people, last week, man. And my Yankees, first time they didn't win a World Series or went to the World Series in a decade, in 100 years, man. So my Devils are so. So it's been a tough year, man. But if you're a true fan, win, lose, or draw. I'm a fan to the end, man. Great show. Thanks to Zach, Khaled Enigma, Abel Mahari, legendary Top Cats, my brother Blue. We're going to do this tomorrow, man. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to the almighty LDDC. And I'm out. Peace.
Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow us on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. Salute to each and every one of y'all. I appreciate y'all. We gone, man. Peace.
Salute.
Go.